Sup YouTube, this is Slide88 Fry here. This is like the first time in a year, or like, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've uploaded a reaction video to Scott the Woz. To be honest, what's he's been uploading the most is to his newest channel, Scott's Snippets, which I think started earlier this year, which is a great channel because it's a bunch of clips he from his various episodes, but in one place, all on his own secondary YouTube channel, instead of having to find these clips from a bunch of random people and not having them all in one place. So that's pretty cool. But he's been prioritizing that a lot more. And whenever he does do a new Scott the Woz episode, they're so long that I just don't really have time to do reactions to them. But this one I have the time to do a reaction to it because the video is a little bit less than 20 minutes long. Okay, basically 20 minutes long. I mean, it's only 12 seconds off of that. Let me just say something real quick. So, I started my new job 2 weeks ago, and then, once my week was over, I had the symptoms of COVID-19. I don't know if you heard that, but my wife was like, "Oh, we're gonna die." Anyways, anybody who wants to go out and say that the coronavirus is over, think again. I had COVID-19 last week, and unfortunately, I had already passed it on to my wife before I even knew I had it. But I got tested again today, and the test came back negative, so I'm clear. I still have a cough, which is apparently some kind of lingering effect even after COVID is over. But yeah, I can return to work tomorrow and get back to earning some money again. Earning some real money again. I mean, I am monetized on YouTube, but I don't make very much from it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So if you hear some coughing, it's because my wife is suffering from it a lot worse than I did. I mean, it was bad at first for me. I was having I was having chills, I was having fever, and I even had a cough. But no, I'm fine now. Paola, my wife, she's still suffering from it, although she's better now than she was last week. Now let's actually start this video. And by the way, Lady Decade is awesome. I'm probably never going to do a reaction to her channel. I don't think I'd get enough views doing that. But she is actually a really entertaining channel. And the video game facts she talks about seems to always be stuff I didn't really know of, including video game consoles I never heard of. Alright, let's do this. Let's watch some Scott the Woz store exclusives.
Oh wow, are those Target exclusive Lowe's beans?
Don't tell anyone, but Lowe's gets them from Dillard's.
But I can only get these ones here.
The fuck?
I knew I made the right decision
doesn't
coming
make
here
any
instead of
sense.
Virgin Care.
Me too.
Say, got any more reasons to keep shopping here?
Well, we can never sell sneakers for Xbox.
I shop at Kohl's now. Are you looking for a reason to shop at Walmart? Well, maybe this'll help.
There's like a million reasons to shop at Walmart, but okay, I get what you mean. Big Lots, seriously?
The retailer exclusive. A funny little tactic used by many a company that's oftentimes beneficial to both parties. The store gets a unique item available nowhere else, forcing you to go there to buy it, while the company offering said product has somebody willing to sell their dog shit product. It's perfect! Well, it is until you realize you gotta go to GameStop. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh my
Some of the
God.
earliest examples of store exclusives can be traced all the way back to the SNES days at Blockbuster. The movie
Okay.
rental store, everybody acts like they'd love for it to come back, but wouldn't go to it more than once if it did.
Yeah, no, he's right. People feel all this nostalgia for video stores, but come on, let's be honest. If they came back, would you be regularly going to one? When we have the ability to download, rent, or buy movies on YouTube, when we can just go to our streaming sites like Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Peacock, Premium, and Netflix, and whatnot. Like, come on. I don't think so. By the way, I actually went to Hollywood Video growing up. We did have Blockbuster in town. In fact, we had a lot of Blockbusters in town when Blockbuster was a thing, and we had 2 Hollywood Videos in town. But our family chose Hollywood Video anyways, even though Blockbuster was around. Hollywood Video was awesome. But yeah, if it came back, which it never would, but if it did, I wouldn't go to it. It's fine.
Video games became a popular item to rent here, with many titles getting more traction this way compared to standard retail.
Yeah, that same thing happened with Hollywood Video. There was a lot of games that I rented there that I never actually owned at home.
So, maybe if you weren't optimistic on your game selling all too well, you can make a deal with Blockbuster, advertise it as a Blockbuster rental exclusive, and make more money that way.
Not the best example, because I did actually rent this video game at Hollywood Video, so it definitely wasn't, I don't think it was ever a Blockbuster exclusive. Rental exclusive only, man. What the fuck? Yeah, that's a made-up cover. There's no way it would say rental exclusive only, man, on the right.
Oh, I found a nickel! Mr. Nuts. Damn it! Such a wide breadth of titles exclusive to Blockbuster. Eek the Cat, and more. The most iconic ones, however, were the different versions of pre-existing games, like Final Fight Guy. See, the original SNES version of the arcade game Final Fight lacked the character Guy, so here in Final Fight Guy, you can play as Guy. This was originally a standard release in Japan, which is why over here, for its more limited run, it retains a lot of the Japanese box's style, proudly stating it's direct from Japan, alongside being a Blockbuster exclusive. This never made sense as a wide release over here, considering how it's the exact same game as Final Fight on SNES, just with one of the characters replaced with Guy. But as a store exclusive, why the hell not? Especially as a rental. You can just grab this for the weekend and discover what a guileless childhood isn't like. You also got Clay Fighter Tournament Edition as a Blockbuster exclusive, which wasn't really much more than a less glitchy, more accessible version of the original. Thank Christ less people could play it. But then we have the original titles, games you couldn't dream of picking up anywhere else. Mr. Nuts, Eek the Cat, and Ren and Stimpy Fire Dogs. Wait a second, weren't there 4 horsemen? These are genuinely some of the most who f***ing cares kind of games. It's no wonder why they were rental exclusives. Because who would buy them? Blockbuster had a few...
Oh god, I hated that game. I hated the Fire Dogs game. Considering that there were some other Ren and Stimpy video games at the time that were actually at least decent-ish. They were fair. I mean, they weren't terrible games. Maybe even considered good. I would think that Fire Dogs would have been good enough, but no, that game sucks.
Other games heavily linked to them in this era, though they weren't exclusive to them. Titles like the Star Fox Super Weekend and Donkey Kong Country competition cartridges are oftentimes considered Blockbuster exclusives, though while they were used during competitive events at Blockbuster, they were actually offered later through Nintendo Power Magazine. So these aren't Blockbuster exclusives. This is.
Bitch.
My god, they went crazy in the PS1 and N64 era. Stunt Racer 64, Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals, NFL Blitz Special Edition, International Track and Field 2000. Hell, Daikatana was initially exclusive for a few months. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine was basically exclusive outside of being offered on LucasArts' online store in the year 2000, so it may as well have been. It's like, if you went to Blockbuster, you were playing games you couldn't play anywhere else.
I'm going to Family Video.
The biggest title here was definitely Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Yep, the only way to play the definitive version of Clay Fighter 63 1/3 was through Blockbuster. Want to play as Lockjaw Pooch? More than anything! Well, clear your weekend because they gotcha! And nowadays, due to this game's excruciatingly limited retail presence...
No, that is not worth it.
Later down the line, we got Freestyle Street Soccer on GameCube and Xbox as an exclusive, and a handful of standalone expansion packs for Outlaw Golf and Volleyball. Wait, do you hear that?
No.
It's you giving a shit. Wait.
There it is.
Yeah, as early as we can go, I think we can already see the point of store exclusives here. Does this have market potential? Well, let's see. This was where developed and produced games that nobody wanted came to die, with the faint hope somebody would consider renting them for a weekend. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine is probably the only game here I'd question. I feel like that would have done fine out in the real world, but no, instead, It's stuck here with the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, not all retailer exclusives were as dire as these, but they're just as dumb. Ratatouille on the original Xbox, exclusive to GameStop. The gamers won. Listen, this one sounds weird initially, but then you get a reality check, alright? So, this game, released in June of 2007. The Xbox 360 launched in 2005. The original Xbox was discontinued in 2005 and always targeted a more mature and hardcore audience. This game was coming to every goddamn platform ever made already, but nobody was buying original Xbox games anymore, and nobody is also not interested in movie tie-in kids games. So, this version of the game probably had the least going for it at the time. Now, canceling it wouldn't have been a huge deal. The number of kids who only had this console in 2007 dying to live a day in Ratatouille's shoes, I mean, they must be out there. So just releasing it at GameStop? Sure. I feel like GameStop is the store you make super niche core experiences exclusive to, whereas Ratatouille would fit better at like a TJ Maxx. But could you really sleep at night if the Xbox port of a game with 10 other versions didn't release?
Well, I could, but keep in mind, I'm deranged.
So thank you, GameStop, for making sure I could buy Ratatouille for Xbox.
Well, I could, but keep in mind, I'm deranged.
And GameStop really pulled through for us with this one. Wait, is that another game in need? GameStop, oh god, do your magic! Xenoblade Chronicles. This game had one hell of a road to launch here in North America. Originally, it was supposed to, with no caveats. It got a trailer at E3 2009 titled Monado, Beginning of the World. Then, exactly, not a damn peep. It launched in Japan in June of 2010, eventually released in Europe, fully translated to English a year later, all while Nintendo of America was busy elsewhere. Listen, man, 2011 to 2012 was a rough era for the Wii. Sure, Skyward Sword and Kirby's Return to Dreamland release. That's great, sweetie. Please.
I'm considering uploading some shorts from my 4-player co-op.
Whoa!
I'm talking about the original for the Wii that came out back in 2011. That was 2010.
Hey, help! I got.
No, it was 2011.
I
Yeah.
got help.
We need to edit that part of the penis, bro.
It's
Yeah, just call it a penis. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not
There's a-
appropriate to say that word.
remember the giant eels in that game?
It's
The
not.
ones,
It's an
those
actual
eels that
body
are
part.
giants. They're in later Kirby games too, but I think
Okay,
started in Return to
that's actually
Dreamland.
fine, too.
Yeah, me and my
Yeah,
then
that's actually
friends,
okay too, John.
we had some pretty messed up.
Thanks a lot. You've distracted me and caused me to get eaten by a penis. That's
Underwater penis.
Yes.
That sounded wild.
I think it'd be worthwhile to make those a short though. Oh, you stupid fucking thing. Oh my fucking god, I hate this webcam. I hate it. It had no reason to do what it did earlier. Literally none. It just decided it wouldn't work anymore. I restarted OBS like fucking 10 times. Dude, shut up about this grand prize winner crap. I don't know what the hell that is. I restarted OBS so many times, and the webcam just wouldn't load. I thought it was OBS that was fucking up, but it was the webcam. Because then I tried opening the regular camera app on this, which will allow me to use the webcam right then and there, and it said, no webcam detected. Shut the fuck up, that is bullshit. Bullshit. This honestly made doing this reaction a fucking chore. A chore. I was actually ready to just give up. I was so close to just giving up. I watched a video of somebody explaining how to fix this problem. I followed those steps, did not work. Did not work. The webcam just refused to acknowledge that it existed on my computer. It refused to. I had to restart the computer. And now it works. Unfortunately, this computer is like, it's about 7 years old. I got it in 2016. So it's not in the shape it used to be. It's slow compared to what it used to be. It's not like it'll play the video just fine, but like when I open the web browser or open some programs, it runs like fucking trash sometimes. or it takes a long time to load. I mean, it wasn't the worst that it has ever been, but it takes time. It takes a while to do anything. That's what time it is right now, 8:41 p.m. What time was it when I had to stop the recording earlier because my webcam decided to fail and refuse to work? I don't know. I'm sure anybody watching could read it down there, though, in the bottom right corner. Oh my god. I hate this webcam. I might have to actually buy a separate webcam. Instead of using the one that's built into the laptop, buy a separate one. Because this is fucking stupid. I used to have a separate one for my old desktop I had before this laptop. My mom actually got me a webcam to go with it using some rewards she got from some kind of coupon. So she was able to get the webcam for free, as well as Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD on the Wii U for free. So it was back then. Maybe if I could find that webcam, I could just attach it to this computer and not deal with the built-in webcam anymore, because that was fucking bullshit. It just didn't want to work. It just refused to do anything and made me want to give up on actually recording this. Like, I was ready to just be like, oh, well, you know what? What I record up to this point, that's all you're going to get, because my webcam doesn't want to work. But it's working now, and I hope it doesn't fucking stall and crash again. Because that was fucking bullshit. God, I'm so pissed over this shit. I'm going to try my best to get through this, though. Scott the Woz is funny. Maybe I'll get some laughs and I'll change my mind. My attitude will change.
2011 to 2012 was a rough era for the Wii. Sure, Skyward Sword and Kirby's Return to Dreamland release. That's great, sweetie. Please get this thing off my porch. Very light release schedule. It felt like a prime time for a critically acclaimed open world RPG to show its stuff. Okay, so nowadays, most games Nintendo publishes get a worldwide release, but back then, I was genuinely concerned we weren't gonna get Kirby's Epic Yarn. Yeah,
But we did have
Xenoblade
it.
isn't the most mainstream
That
game
game came
out there,
out
but
time.
for f***'s sake,
2010.
that same year, they had no problem publishing Spirit Camera over here. Their resistance to put this game out in North America was so confusing. Fans came together to form Operation Rainfall,
Okay.
an initiative to urge Nintendo to release this alongside The Last Story and Pandora's Tower stateside. 3 games that were already in English. They were coming to Europe, their work was already done, they just had to print the discs. Nintendo of America's response?
Don't you guys have passports?
They said they had no plans to release any of the games at the time, though that would quickly change, as in December of 2011, it was announced Xenoblade Chronicles would be hitting North America in April of 2012.
Wow.
Only at GameStop.
Oh
You know
my
what got a
God.
wide release here in the States? Yeah, thank God. If I bring this anywhere near a Target, I'll be shot. And later down the line, GameStop
Right.
took wind to the fact that the game was going for higher prices on the secondhand market, thus took new stock they had, opened them up, and sold them used for $90 so they can make a far greater profit. Damn! And things were...
They didn't really do that, did they? Seriously? They opened the package and then made it appear as used and charged more? Like, they didn't actually really do that, did they? Because that can't be real. Oh my god, that's just... No, they couldn't have really done that. How could they get away with something so fucked up? That's ridiculous.
going so smoothly. Well, if you're gonna make a game exclusive anywhere, GameStop makes the most sense. Regardless of any funny business they pull, they're the video game store. Which is probably why they felt they had what it takes to release their own games. Introducing Game Trust Games,
I thought
GameStop's
they only
publishing
talked about
brand.
it.
Now, GameStop won't have to wait around for a Nintendo to throw them a bone with a game they don't want to take a risk on. They can lure in customers themselves with their own store exclusives. Must-have titles you can't buy anywhere else. This is the Game Trust lineup.
I'll take the spider.
Yeah, none of these really spoke to me, though. To be fair, there are some big names behind these titles. Game Trust's first game, Song of the Deep, was developed by Insomniac. Then Tequila Works did The Invisible Hours, Ready at Dawn did Deformers, Frozen Byte did Has Been Heroes. These were well-known, beloved developers responsible for GameStop-published fuck-ups. Yeah, none of these were particularly great. They're all pretty nothing games, and in the case of Deformers, I mean that literally. The only reason anybody cared about Has-Been Heroes was because it was one of the very few physical Nintendo Switch games available in its launch month. The only reason anybody cared about Song of the Deep was because it was developed by Insomniac, and the only reason anybody cared about The Invisible Hours was because they felt bad nobody else did. Doesn't really seem like these made GameStop a force to be reckoned with in the publishing sphere, as this was basically all they did. Just makes sense to stick to what you know. Nothing. Just take exclusives when they offer themselves to you, like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on PS4 and Xbox One. That was GameStop exclusive. For some reason. This launched when the new game Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was announced, so maybe they limited this to focus on that title instead? Well, why even release this in the first place? Around the same time, Secret of Mana on PlayStation 4 was made available only
No wonder why you were playing that
at
music.
GameStop. Thank God, I'm safe here. What a dumbass made available only. Why even release this in Infinite was announced, so maybe they limited this to focus on that title instead? Well, why even release this in the first place? Around the same time, Secret of Mana on PlayStation 4 was made available only at GameStop. Thank God, I'm safe here. What a dumbass this was. So they remade a few classic Final Fantasy games in 3D on the Nintendo DS, and this felt like they were trying to do that with Secret of Mana, not on the Nintendo DS 10 years later. This would have been far more accepted back then, but on the PS4, this just looks and feels so damn cheap. That's not to say it's a bad remake. Rather, it's just kind of there. You know what that means, right? Oh! It's a bad remake. Tenchu Darkseeker was exclusive to GameStop, naturally. Okay, well, these were both more so specialty stores. What about retailers that aren't really focused on video games? What games were exclusive to those?
Hey, what do you got that GameStop doesn't?
You.
What does it take to be a Target exclusive video game?
The will to be.
Why was Cars the video game on PC exclusive? Because we had to take dicks down a notch. This store easily has some of the most random games associated with it. Paws and Claws Pet Vet for Game Boy Advance, Let's Ride Friends Forever for Game Boy Advance, Enchanted Once Upon Andalasia for Game Boy Advance, High School Musical Livin' the Dream for Game Boy Advance. Never mind, a pattern is forming.
It's
Seems
a bunch
like
of
around
Disney
2006 to 2008, Target struck some deals to offer kids games on aging platforms. You can see some of these have a Plays on DS sticker. And with many of these having Nintendo DS equivalents that were much more widely released, it's obvious they didn't want to take too much of a risk with the GBA versions. But Target will.
Oh my God, you guys are offering a bullet for me?
That's why the shirt's red.
Then you have the more modern exclusives, such as Active Life Outdoor Challenge for Nintendo Switch, and of course, the SimCity preview disc. Not a demo for SimCity, no. It's a disc with trailers on it and a coupon. Might actually be better than the game. But we can't talk Target exclusives.
Yeah, when that particular SimCity game came out, which was, what, 2010, I think it was? Oh man, EA fucked up when they released that game. Which is sad because, you know, I remember playing SimCity before that game. I actually played the original MS-DOS SimCity that came out like in 1989 or something, a year after I was born. It's a fun game, you know, and I had played SimCity 2000 as well. Actually, on my Origin account, I got SimCity 2000 for free, so that's cool. I should probably actually... Origin's been weird on my computer since I last tried using it. Anyway. I remember on Facebook there used to be a game called SimCity Social, which was so much fun to play, but when they released the new SimCity video game on all platforms at the time, they got rid of SimCity Social, which just sucked because that game was a lot of fun. It's too bad they got rid of it, though. I had so much fun with that game. Anyway, yeah, when they first released that SimCity game on all platforms, whatever, I think it was mostly a PC, but they fucked up. Like, they had to like patch a lot of things up and fix a lot of bugs and shit. It was so bad. Like, I just don't know how they fucked it up so badly. I don't remember the details of how much they screwed up, but it was basically it was like virtually unplayable when they released it at the time. I'm sure it's a lot better since, but God, I don't know how. And now it's like become a trend for this kind of thing to be normal nowadays, instead of just delaying the release of a game to perfect it.
Without mentioning this, the Target exclusive Game Boy Advance
It looks like any Game Boy
Special
Advance just with a
Edition
Target
system.
logo.
What's special about it?
We match.
Yep, it just has the Target logo plastered on the front. That's it. Though
That's
there was
really
a red
pointless.
version, which is definitely more specialized specifically to Target. These are about as retailer exclusive as you can get. I only say that because I'm terrified what further looks like. Why would you want the name of the store you bought your system from permanently scarred on it? And it's not even a specialized shop like the Nintendo store or something. I buy bread from here. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't find this stupidly charming and novel. I mean, the Target Game Boy Advance. AutoZone Cheese Nips. Special edition systems seem pretty well suited for this practice. Instead of developing a whole-ass game just to sell it at Menards, you can just smack a paint
Hell is
job on a console
Menards?
and boom! My loyalty has been rewarded. Sticking with the Game Boy Advance, the SpongeBob SquarePants and Pikachu Game Boy Advance SPs were exclusive to Toys R Us. Two pretty damn popular characters to make exclusive systems for just one retailer. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I assume other stores got pretty cool exclusives as well, so let's make that assumption a reality. Walmart got the Lagoon Edition, the most popular store in existence. What do they get?
An advertisement for Toys R Us.
Holy shit! The amount of Toys R Us exclusives is insane. The Pet Adoption Center, Bratz Babies, Baby Life, Fairyland Melody Magic, Cookie Shop, Moto Racer DS, Beyblade Metal Masters, Pets Horses Family.
The fuck?
Now, Pets Horseshoe Ranch, you can buy that shit anywhere. DS games were churned out like butter. That's fast. So, of course, while many of these were Toys R Us exclusive, they were cookie cutter, copy and paste type of games you could find a million alternatives for elsewhere.
Yeah.
Making them exclusive made them actually noteworthy in some way. But here's one that don't need that exclusivity to stand out. Soul Bubbles, a legitimately solid puzzle game that takes great advantage of the DS's capabilities. It's a shame because it feels like nobody played or has even heard of this game.
Never heard of this
I
game.
think a GameStop exclusivity would have worked out a lot better because I don't think the people who would actually appreciate this game were buying their games at Toys R Us. For example, this is Sneakers, Xbox exclusive extraordinaire. You know, Microsoft chose this to be one of the launch titles for the system in Japan instead of Halo. Well, why wasn't Halo a Toys R Us exclusive then? Sneakers is one of those press X to check this rat games. 30 minutes, 30 rats. Go! This was created to be a technical showcase for the original Xbox, touting mice fur as a key feature. And what did it all boil down to? A 28 on Metacritic and one less reason to go to Toys R Us. They definitely had it better
Yeah.
when it came to exclusive systems. The Pikachu Nintendo 64, the gold Nintendo 64, the black Game Boy Advance? Really? Out of all colors to make retailer exclusive. Oh, no poos.
kidding.
I just wish any of these designs scream Toys R Us. I mean, this is a toy store for crying out loud. Give me a Game Boy
good
that looks
point.
like I bought it from one. Thank you for having such a hefty trough of exclusive products at their store.
Yeah.
The Toys R Us sure didn't care what they were. Honestly, I feel like Walmart one-upped them with one game alone. Chibi Robo Park Patrol for the Nintendo DS. Now, I'm not saying this is the only Walmart exclusive game, but there sure aren't as many out there as the other stores. And while Toys R Us had sneakers, Walmart had a video game. I don't blame Nintendo for partnering with Walmart to make this an exclusive, but I do heavily question why they kept making Chibi Robo games if they never believed in them achieving success. Chibi Robo was a
don't know.
super late GameCube release. Then out of nowhere, a sequel in the DS was announced when there was barely any benefits to doing so outside of giving the series another shot on a more popular platform. And now there were none. Most of the video game
Yeah.
exclusivity you'd find at Walmart and countless other stores are the retailer bonuses. And these aren't games that are exclusive in of themselves, rather you get a little something extra for choosing Kmart because nobody else did.
Yeah. The one and only Kmart we had left here in Santa Rosa, actually, it's just down the street from me. But when the Tubbs fire happened in 2017, that Kmart burned down. But actually, the other stores in that shopping center were lucky and didn't get affected by the fires at all. But a lot of other businesses that were burned down nearby, like a Chevron that had a McDonald's in it, they just came right back. I mean, they didn't come right back immediately, but they were rebuilt and didn't take too long for them to come back. Kmart never did because Kmart is I mean, if not already, they're going to be completely out of business. They can't afford to rebuild any of their stores. um, so yeah, there's that. If there's a Kmart in your area, congrats. That's one of few places that have them nowadays.
There's a lot of the box art you're obscuring just to tell me I get character decals. And character decals in French. Has this stuff ever persuaded anybody to buy from a different store? If anything, it makes me want to stay away. I don't want my copy of Country Dance 2 to remind me where I bought it. That's the thing. Almost every instance of this practice involves this being printed on the cover art. Why isn't it just a sticker or something? Feels like it's some cheap marketing tactic. Now, every time you pull the game off your shelf,
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Walmart.
however, with the constant rise of online shopping, store exclusivity is becoming a whole lot more popular in completely new ways. Online retailers like Amazon are pretty solid choices for exclusives, considering more niche-er experiences that were probably going to be mostly bought online anyways. There's stuff like Gravity Rush Remastered and the Sega Genesis Mini 2. But then we have digital marketplaces with the Epic Game Store. To the PC!
I had no intention, none whatsoever, to start an Epic Game Store account, but I had no choice. When the remake of Sonic Color when the remake of the Wii version of Sonic Colors came out back in 2021, I went ahead and got the PC version. I wanted to download it to Steam, like like where I download other Sonic games I have on my PC. But no, Epic Games somehow bought exclusive rights for PC distribution of Sonic Colors Ultimate. So I had to download Epic Games, even though I had no intention of ever using Epic Games. And actually, it was a separate account from my Epic Games account on my Switch, because I don't understand how all that shit works. Because I have an Epic Games account that's connected to my Switch because of wow, I actually forgot the name of the game. I haven't played the game in ages, but it's that game where you're driving a car and kicking a soccer ball over the place. Rocket League. There we go, Rocket League. I forgot the name of the game. I haven't played that game in like a year or a year and a half or something, but it's a fun game. But yeah, still a bunch of bullshit. They have to download certain things just to get some things. I hate that crap. I was content with just having Steam and Origin and Battle.net on my computer, and now I had to add Epic Games for one game.
Pretty much every PC gamer has always used Steam to buy their digital games and access their libraries, but in comes the Epic Game Store with a lot of cash to give to every publisher to make their release at the very least a timed exclusive to their marketplace. Now, what does that mean for the consumer? Now you have to use different apps for different games.
Yep. I was just talking
about
about
kind of
that.
atrocity? No, it's just kind of dumb. And
It
even
is.
worse, it makes you feel like an idiot for complaining about it. Oh, I gotta use a different store to buy this game? What the hell was I just doing? To be fair, this is like going from one store with all the amenities and products you could ask for to a store this is just a worm. So it's completely understandable to be annoyed, but hey, it's good to have competition. Much like it's good to have a Whopper right about now. It isn't. But it brings us to the retailer exclusive to end all retailer exclusives. The Burger King games.
I remember
Do
those.
these count?
I
Well,
played
I
the
can buy
pocket
things that aren't food at
bike
Burger
one.
King and making this a retailer. Xbox games you could only get at BK for $3.99 a pop. A big bumpin' pocket bike racer and sneaking. I gotta admit, this was
Yeah, I remember Pocket Bike Racer. It was, believe it or not, it was a surprisingly fun game, despite it being only $4. And oh, I remember which Burger King I got it from. I got it from a Burger King that hasn't existed for a long time. For whatever reason, Burger King is like not popular here. There used to be a lot more of them, but now there's literally only 2 left in Santa Rosa. In comparison, there's like 6 McDonald's, 4 Jack in the Box. There's now 2 In-N-Out burgers in Santa Rosa, with 2 more in the area, one in Runner Park, one in Petaluma. So 4 in the area. Although if you count Roanoke Park, Petaluma, and Windsor, and there's more Burger Kings than just the 2. But if I'm just talking about Santa Rosa, there's only 2 left. But there used to be a lot more. There was a Burger King I went to that was across the street from Santa Rosa Junior College. SRJC for short. We typically hear it called the JC. But I'll call it SRJC for the rest of when I describe this. And it was at that Burger King that I actually got one of these games. I think that same year was when that Burger King went out of business. And then there was nothing there for like 8 years or close to 10 years or something. And now there's a Chick-fil-A there, which is hugely popular. But yeah, for whatever reason, Burger King, as popular as it is throughout the U.S., it's just not very popular in my area, in Santa Rosa. I don't really understand why, but oh well. Just suddenly remembering that I got this from a Burger King that no longer exists, and it's now a Chick-fil-A.
It was always really cool. Honestly, one of the bike race games you could only get at BK for $3.99 a pop. A big bumpin' pocket bike racer and sneaking. I gotta admit, this was always really cool. Honestly, one of the best fast food toy ideas of all time. A full-fledged Xbox game? Hell, one of 3! That's amazing! And then you play the games.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem when I played Pocket Bike Racing. It was actually pretty fun, and I easily won the Grand Prix or whatever the hell I did, and it was pretty fun actually. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't memorable enough for me to play it again. I played it once, and I did enjoy it, but I didn't play it again. So maybe I don't enjoy it as much. Didn't enjoy it as much as I remember enjoying it. I don't know. When it comes to video games at fast foods, the best was in the 90s, not the 2000s with the Xbox at Burger King. The best was in the 90s with PC games. At Jack in the Box, I got Sonic 3D Blast on PC. I got a trilogy of Sonic and Knuckles games on the PC in one disc. It was Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I get it. Sonic 3 Knuckles is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles in one game, but whatever. That's what I got at there, and then I also got what was originally I think a Sega Saturn game, but a PC port of a game called Bug, which was a tough puzzle platforming game, really hard game. At least at the time. Maybe if I played it now, I might actually be better at it than I was as a kid. But I actually heard later there was a 4th game at Jack in a Box I didn't even know about. I thought it was just those 3, but anyway, that is when I was really happy about video games at a fast food joint. Sonic games there on the PC. That was really cool, really really cool. Anyway, let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. Yep, let's continue. Almost done.
Listen, man, I know you want me to come to this store every day and go, hey, all Scott here, I'll take the usual, and you slide an air down the conveyor belt, but you don't need to make games exclusive to do that. You can just offer quality services and products, and I'll show up. You don't need to make cars on PC exclusive to make me show up at your store. Damn.
Well, if offering better quality and services will bring you in, there's only one thing I can do.
I will find the kid who played Ratatouille on Xbox.
Will you also still offer cars on PC?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Okay.
And it said on his shirt that he's a volunteer. Does he even work there? Okay. Well, that was weird. Well, I'm gonna have some editing I gotta do, which is gonna be kind of a pain in the ass after what just happened. But anyway. Oh, that was fun. Thank you so much for watching all the way through with me. First time reacting to Scott the Woz in a long time. Yeah, it is kind of weird how there are some games that are like sold exclusively at some retailers. Now, to go against what Scott said about how, oh, it's having to use Epic Games and Steam to play different games, or for me it's Steam, Origin, and BattleNet, and I only got Epic Games for one game. The way I see it is, I wish it was just all in one thing, because then I wouldn't have more streaming clients taking up space on my computer. Who knows? Maybe that might be affecting my performance of the computer. Like, I remember there was an advertisement I saw some time ago on my phone saying, "Your phone is hungry for apps." I'm like, no, it's not. Like, if the phone was sentient and could think and speak, it'd be like, "Oh my God, please don't download any apps. Please don't do it. It's such a strain on my systems. It makes me go slow and makes you mad. Please don't put any more apps on me." That A phone would never be hungry for apps. It would be saying, "Please, no more apps." Come on. Because you download more shit to your devices, it takes up space. It can slow things down, especially if you're on multiple apps at the same time. Anyway, um, so yeah, like I'm not a fan of having multiple different programs to do the same thing. I want everything on one, so so I have less software on my computer to take up space. But that's just me. I guess it ultimately doesn't matter that much as long as you're only using one at a time, not all at the same time. Um, so yeah, you know, speaking of video games and fast food, there's a McDonald's that also isn't far from that also is across the street from SRJC. And back in the 2000s, and it kind of remained like this for a long while. That McDonald's was actually really cool because when you stepped inside, in an area where there's a bunch of benches to sit at, um, there were like 3 or 4 different TVs there. Oh no, there were a bunch of TVs there. There were like 3 or 4 different like little display things there with TVs on different sides of it and consoles on different sides of it. So there were GameCubes, Xboxes, and PS2s there at McDonald's, and you could just go ahead and just play them just like that. I don't even recall if I even had to spend money to do it. I think they just let me play it, or maybe I played one that somebody left on or something. That was my first introduction to Sonic Heroes, at least the GameCube version. Um, but like, yeah, seriously, that was awesome, and those were there for a long time. They're long gone now. I mean, especially since those consoles are so many generations ago, back in the early 2000s. Um, we've had a lot of different video game consoles since then, but I think it'd be pretty cool if they'd bring that back. You know, it is a good way to attract some people to actually go buy food at these places, because they could, if they don't have the console at home, they could just be playing it all day at the McDonald's or whatever, and then just buy some food there or something. But um, I'm sure it's kind of expensive to have all that stuff there anyway, so it makes sense to not keep updating it, because it would cost more and more as the generations go on. Um, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to have me notifications. I'm going to have to do some goddamn editing on this bullshit. Hopefully, my goodness, hopefully this won't become the webcam won't do this again. What's annoying is, I think the last time this happened was also on a Scott the Woz reaction video, but since it's been so long since I've actually made any Scott the Woz reaction videos, that means the last time it happened was a long time ago. I don't know, it might have happened on a more recent video like AVGN or something, but I don't think so, no. It seems like it just primarily happens when I'm watching Scott the Woz. I don't know why. It has happened when I've watched other stuff, but I think it primarily happens when I'm watching him, and I don't understand why. It's annoying. I wish it would stop. I wish my webcam would stop being stupid. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Obviously, more YouTube shorts are to come. Going to be primarily Johnny Depp shorts as usual, but hey, I enjoyed making this reaction video aside from dealing with all the bullshit my webcam was putting me through. Thank you so much.